Today we're gonna work on a Mexican-inspired pho. So the other day I went to a restaurant called Soul Kitchen that does a little bit of like a Southeast Asian Mexican fusion. I thought it was super tasty and really interesting. I thought doing some sort of chicken pho would be really interesting, and I wanted to do a lot of different corn elements inside of it as well. So besides for making a variation of chicken pho, the other day I had a dish with bantiu, which is like a fried bread, and I wanted to make some sort of savory sandwich with that, so I'm gonna try to make a grilled chicken sandwich as well. We'll see. So my intention with these chicken thighs is to marinate them heavily, and then I'm gonna grill them and serve them right on top of the fresh soup. So on top of the soup, we'll have a grilled piece of chicken thigh, which sounds cool to me. So besides for the chicken thighs, I also just have some chicken carcasses here to help build my stock. Although they left a lot of meat on these things. Damn, whoever filleted these is not doing a good job. Jesus. Right now, I'm kind of thinking I want to keep the broth pretty clean in flavor. I just really want it to be chickeny, roasted with some corn elements as well. So I'm going to put all of my spices and kind of aggressive seasoning on the marinade for the chicken. So typically for Western cuisine, we would roast the bones, right? We would throw the bones in the oven or fry them in a pan, maybe. Usually roast them in the oven. But I'm thinking I don't really want to get an even roasted flavor. I want to get some sort of charred flavor a little bit. So instead of roasting, I'm going to grill the chicken and try to get some char on it and then throw it in my water. So that's what I'm looking for. I could go a little bit deeper than this, but then we'll go right in our pot. So I got this pot at about medium-low heat right now. We're gonna let it start for about 30 minutes and we're gonna add some aromatics. While my broth is cooking, I got a little bit of corn I'm gonna clean. And this is American corn. Ooh, so fancy. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'm just gonna steam it in the husk. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let's steam it in the husk. Try to get as much corn flavor in the water as I can. And let these guys cook for, I don't know, probably 5 minutes, 8 minutes. And let's work on the chicken marinade next. I got a good amount of cilantro I just washed. Ginger, lime, shallot, garlic. Peel a little bit of lime zest off here. My intention is to make this dish taste it, and then I'm gonna invite the chef from Seoul over just to cook for him for fun, see if he enjoys it. Maybe it'll give him some inspiration to do something for his restaurant. Really, I was just laying in bed the other night and I couldn't stop thinking about making something like this, so I'm doing it. The ginger I'll slice thin, give the zest a little dice. I'm gonna blend all this, but I just wanna give it help before it goes in the blender. I got 2 of these little chilies as well. I'm just gonna throw them in. I'm trying to keep everything green, so we use green kind. All right, so these have been going for a couple minutes. I'm gonna pull these out and let them cool down. My tongue still have rolled chicken on them, so I'm using my freaking chopsticks. Now, I'm gonna throw my corn water right in my chicken stock. For the aromatics for the broth, I'm just gonna use my burner this time. I don't wanna smoke out my kitchen. That grill kills my kitchen. And I'm gonna char these vegetables here. So I got the shallot, I got the ginger, and I got my big old leek here. I was debating about potentially putting a cinnamon stick in here as well, but I think I'm gonna hold back on this first trial and just try to keep this a little bit more pure in the broth flavor. We'll let that keep rocking. I'm gonna blend up all of my ingredients here. We'll do the lime in here as well, some olive oil. As I mentioned, I'm gonna keep the soup pretty clean in flavor, but the chicken is where I'm gonna put my spice elements in. So I'm gonna add some cumin powder in here and some coriander powder as well. Okay, I'm gonna put some cinnamon. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll put the cinnamon in the marinade mixture, just a little. I really want the chicken to hit the grill, wake up all these aromatics, wake up the spices, and then when we put the grilled chicken on top of the soup broth, kind of that leaches out into the soup, but really kind of just stays on the surface level, doesn't get cooked into it. It'll be really bright and right at the front of the palate, so should be good. Oh my God, I didn't put any salt. Salt's important. Okay. Smells like Mexican. I like that. Sour, just tastes like a totally Mexican sauce. I don't know what the name of this sauce is, but I know this flavor combination is very typical. Oh, dang, that's good. Ginger and lime, cilantro, that's freaking delicious actually. It looks good, smells good. Next, let's clean some corn. And now I'm not trying to remove all of the corn completely off of here. I'm okay to leave some corn in the husk because I'm gonna cook these in the soup too, so it'll just give my soup extra flavor. With the corn husk, I'm gonna take a butter knife and just scrape the heck out of this because now I want to extract all the remaining corn out of here, and all this is gonna go right into my pot. And this all is gonna go for another, let's say 30 minutes. So now I have 2 different kinds of corn here. I have this one on this side, and I have this one here that was scraped. My intention is to strain the broth, add some corn kernels into that, and then puree it to kind of give it a little bit of a chunky sort of vibe to it, a little bit cloudy, a little chunky, a little creamy. I'm just debating which one I want to do that with. I actually think the scraped corn has a nicer texture by itself. So I'm gonna save this on the side and make like a relish or maybe a salsa kind of thing with this because the texture's nicer. And the majority of this corn I'm gonna add to the soup later and then blend it. I'm gonna take some of this stock now and add it to that corn, just enough so I can blend it. Okay. And now this is gonna go straight into our pot. And I just turned the heat off and now I'm gonna strain this. So I'm not using the finest strainer in the world. I want to get some texture through, but I want to remove most of the corn skin. So just try to scrape these corn kernels first. I got so much juice in them. A little bit of salt now. And I'm happy to see a little bit of those charred flakes on the top. That looks cool to me. This kind of looks like what, like a corn tortilla puree right now, or corn tortilla broth, which is cool. I'm happy with that. Let's try it. I wish the corn was sweeter. This is not the freshest corn in the world, so that's a bummer. So I am gonna add a little bit of sugar to help with that. I didn't want to, but the corn's not the best. I don't want to finish the seasoning yet because it's not ready yet. I want to make sure I have the reduction where I want it to be before I completely season it. But at the moment, I think this is a really good base, and the way I'm imagining this dish come together, I think it's gonna be pretty damn tasty. I'm running out of time and I'm not gonna be able to finish today. So I have my shucked corn, my chicken marinating, and my broth. I'm gonna put this all in the fridge. I'll come back tomorrow and I'll finish this. I'll see you in a second. And we're back, let's do this. So I'm gonna make a chili sauce next. The base of it's gonna be a bell pepper though, so it's not gonna be incredibly hot. I'll probably use 2 chilies in here. I have a small onion I'm gonna throw in here, and a shallot. The bell pepper I wanna get completely charred. The other stuff, I just wanna get a little bit of color on it. This is gonna go right in a bowl. I'm gonna cover this with some plastic wrap and let this steam. While that pepper is steaming, I have one more interesting ingredient I wanna add to this. So I have some pumpkin seeds here. I'm just gonna toast them up. Not many. I just wanna give it a little bit more character, so it's not just a chili onion salsa that I've seen and done so many times before. My chilies, completely whole. I want this to be spicy this time. And for a little bit extra heat, because these red chilies are not that hot, I'm gonna throw in just 2 of these small little green guys. Ow, it's hot. Take out our bell pepper, and we'll start peeling this guy. Ow, once again, hot. I'm not super concerned about getting every last piece of skin off. I'm not trying to make it ultra fine dining. I'm just trying, a little rustic is okay. I'm gonna add a little bit of the corn from yesterday. I think I'm gonna put the rest of it in the broth to kind of get a little chunkiness, but I'm gonna put some in the salsa. Give it a little more corn flavor in here. Oh, a special guest. Holy crap.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Look at this gentleman over here. Just sharp as always.
Let's go.
So I told this gentleman I was making a cool kind of pho today so he could stop by. He's just doing some editing while he's here. So he edits, he'll get rewarded with a bowl at the end.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna throw a little bit of salt in here. Give it a taste. Whoa, spicy, a little sweet from the corn. I like that part, just needs salt. Next, I'm gonna fry the salsa. So I'm gonna throw a little bit of oil in the pan. Here we go. And now we're just frying the salsa to try to take the rawness off of it. Because that onion, even though it's charred, it's not like cooked through. It's deep. I like the nuttiness from the pumpkin seeds. I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar. I want a little bit more sweetness in here. And it's got a good amount of heat, so this is pretty good. I'm gonna let this cool down and kind of marinate a little bit. I think it's gonna get even better as it kind of sits and develops. And you can taste a little bit of corn in there too. So I mentioned before that we're gonna try to make 2 different dishes today, one being the Mexican pho and another being like a chicken sandwich. Right now I'm gonna make like a charred leek cream that I'm gonna use for the sandwich, so let's do that next. I'm gonna cut these as thin as I can. Big clove of garlic. A little salt. And a little bit of sour cream too. Not much, I kinda want this to be chunky, so I'm not gonna put too much. Cool. One of the garnishes I want to do for the soup is like little fried strips of tortilla. So I'm gonna make some fresh corn tortillas right now. I'm actually gonna use my soup base as my liquid instead of using water. And I'm just eyeballing this right now. I haven't done this enough to make this well by eyeball, but we're just gonna go for it. I'm not that concerned because I'm not really making tacos or anything that's crucial to have the right texture. They're gonna be deep fried anyway after the grill. I just need it to hold together and be crunchy. So I think that's not gonna be a problem. That seems all right. I know it's not appropriate, but I don't know if that's gonna prevent it from working. I don't know why it would. This seems okay. But I'll go ahead and give this like 5 minutes for the corn to hydrate. We'll start rolling these out. Now we're gonna pan really hot, and we're gonna slide our tortilla in. You can see we're starting to get some puff on here, that's cool. There we go, that's what I wanna see. And these gonna go right into a clean towel. We'll wrap them as they're cooking and let them steam. We'll just keep it going. So these have been steaming for a couple minutes now. I'm gonna go ahead and slice them. And I'm just trying to slice these basically the same thickness as a pho noodle. All right, that's good, we'll go with it now. I wanna try to move these around too because I want them to kind of have irregular shapes. So if they curl or bend, I'm cool with that. So I wanna kind of give them some action as they move. So because these are going in the soup, They're not gonna be eaten as like a snack on the side. I don't necessarily wanna salt them right now. I don't wanna over-season the soup by adding these into it, so I'm gonna leave these unseasoned. Figuring out another one. Hey, look hungry.
Scooby snacks.
Almost there, a couple more things. Add a little bit of white cabbage, it's gonna be a garnish. I'm gonna cut this as thin as possible. And then I'm gonna throw this cabbage right into some ice water just to kind of crisp it up a little bit. Next, I'm gonna cut a red onion, again, super thin. And the red onion as well, I'm gonna just soak in some ice water. And the same water the cabbage is in, I'm gonna mix them together anyway. For the chicken sandwich, thinking about adding some sweetness, I'm gonna use some fresh mango. So I'm gonna dice this up now. Some of the juice, salt, and some cilantro. Okay. So I'm gonna make this sandwich first, and I think what the cool part, besides for the flavors that are going on, is I wanna use bánh teo, which is like a traditional Vietnamese fried bread. And usually you don't see this stuffed with anything savory, but I thought that would work. So we're gonna try it. First, I'm gonna grill the chicken though, and I'm gonna do it outside, because I learned my lesson from yesterday. I'm not gonna smoke out this whole room. I've never grilled out here. Does the motorbike look good in the background? Now this is gonna be smoky. I'm gonna grill all 4 right now just to get this done. But I'm gonna use 2 for the sandwich and 2 for the soup. I think this chicken's gonna be super, super good. And marinate all night. And I'm gonna brush some of the marinade off the skin, since I'm trying to get the skin nice and crispy. It really does smell amazing, you know. Unfortunately, I can't even turn the heat down on this thing. That's kind of the lowest I'm getting on it. Không cháy, huh? I think I gotta turn my fire off. All right, so I charred these. I'm gonna finish these inside. So I'm just gonna finish the chicken in a non-stick pan here since I'm getting kicked out from grilling outside. But I'm happy I got some char in this chicken at least, so. And that looks pretty damn tasty. I'm gonna let this chicken rest for a couple minutes as I'm building the sandwich. I mean, this seems like a cool idea to me. It's kind of like a tortilla. Let's build the bitch. Build that bitch. It's hot. Let's throw some of this chili sauce down first. Now I'm gonna flip it over and throw some of the leek sour cream on the bottom. Cut some chicken. I'll do some shredded cabbage and onion. A little bit of that mango. That's it. That's a nice little pocket. Here's your pocket, sir.
Oh, dude, what up?
While that gentleman is gonna nibble on this thing, I'm gonna make my own version, or my own portion on this side too. There's a bowl of soup coming too. Don't smash it too heavy.
Looks good. I love that.
That bread?
Softness of it, yeah.
We'll see. I don't have a problem with the flavor combination. The bread is my only, like, is that gonna work or not? But I love the idea of using it for this. I think it's pretty cool that way. Would you buy that?
Yeah, I'd buy this.
Really cool.
That's good. I like that little mango that comes in.
Yeah, a little punch there.
Yeah.
The only thing I probably would have done if I just wasn't lazy right now is I just would have put some more cilantro in there. Like fresh cilantro on the top. I put some in the mango slaw and that's probably enough. Is it spicy?
I think it's perfectly spicy, buddy.
Good, good, good. Well, you can't argue with perfectly spicy.
That. I think you're good on cilantro.
Yeah. There's a lot of cilantro in the marinade too for the chicken. All right, let's try it. I think that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. I like that a lot, actually. That will work.
Is there raw garlic in here?
In the leek cream.
Yeah, I got that bite.
This will be a nice little lunch portion. I like how the edges of the bread got a little chewy too. Mm-hmm. Dare I say that might be great.
Oh, it is great, buddy.
Yeah, pretty damn good. Uh-oh. I don't want this to overshadow the soup, but this is pretty solid.
Yeah, this is really solid.
The soup's gonna have a challenge coming up to this. And I told you not to crush it, but I'm finishing this. Yeah, it's a winner. Okay, what would I do different? I don't think anything, honestly. There's nothing I feel that this lacks.
I would take down the raw garlic a bit.
In there, you can maybe got I didn't mince it well. You might got a big chunk there.
Oh, at the end of my sandwich, I start tasting more of like the charred flavor of the chicken, a little bite of the lime. This is fantastic, dude. Yeah. It's really good. And this bread is killer, actually. Yeah.
But I wanted to see this bread in a savory version.
It's really good.
It works. All right, let's make a soup. I'm nervous about it. We'll see. Hopefully it's at least as good as the sandwich. If it's as good, I'll be happy. I like this thing because it's almost like a tortilla stock. I really like the look of the stock right now. Just bring this to a boil and get my final seasoning on here. A little bit of salt, a little MSG, a little sugar. Now, if you remember from yesterday, I had that scraped corn. I've really been thinking about what the hell to do with this all day. Originally, I was gonna make some kind of like corn salsa, but then I didn't want to not put all the corn flavor in the soup and it'd be like a secondary thing. So if you didn't like extra heat, you wouldn't put any of that in, you wouldn't get the reinforced corn flavor. So I think I'm just gonna throw it right in the broth, surprisingly. But it should give us a little chunkiness to the broth and hopefully it'll coat the noodles a little bit. So this might be a mistake, we'll see. And while that's coming to boil, I'm gonna build my side plate.
What happened to this chicken? Was the chicken abused? And I was like, no, it was the chef. The chef was stressed. I could taste it.
He doesn't, I'm shooting right now. He's just talking trash. Ignore his trash talking. So I got 2 side plates because I'm still gonna make them a soup because I like them. And then I got a little bit of that cabbage onion mixture. I'm gonna do 2 side plates with this salsa. So you can add as much as you want in your broth as you go. Give everybody a little wedge of lime. We're gonna do some of these tortilla chips and some cilantro. All right, so that's gonna be per plate your side, your salsa and your side plate. We're gonna do a little green onion. We'll cut our chicken and we're ready to go. Luckily I got some fresh pho. I was gonna cut it with the skin side down because I wanna get a nice presentation on it. We'll go noodles right down. We have like a really simple noodle or bowl build. This is pretty easy. Not many components in the bowl itself. Put a lot of that green onion. And then we'll go the chicken right on top with the side plate. All right, dude, this is for you.
Oh, okay. All right, we're trying, Chef.
Try it. Let's see.
That's corny.
Corny, yeah. I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that.
Just like the chef. Okay. All right, let's go a little lime here.
It's definitely corny, and I wanted it to be like a chicken and corn dish. That was the idea.
Now, once you add the lime, it really reduces that corniness a lot. It almost doesn't even taste corny anymore.
Really?
Are you intending for me to add this?
Yes. I mean, that's gonna be your heat element, so if you want spicy, go for it.
I think it's a slight miss.
Slight miss? Okay, what's wrong?
I don't know. It seems like I don't think corn and the rice noodle are going well together. I mean, it's solid. It's not like it does. It's like it tastes bad or I can't eat it or anything like that.
You can say slight miss. I don't care.
It's good.
Just thank God the sandwich was good. Holy shit.
As I'm eating it, I almost think like maybe more of like a Mi Wang style would fit better with this. Like,
serving it in like Mi Wang style with a different noodle, or you just mean
like
light broth?
Noodle, maybe even more like a braise than the pho broth. I don't know.
All right, let's see if I think it's a slight miss. God damn it.
What are friends for?
No, I like the broth as is. It is corny. Do you like the tortilla strips in there?
Yeah.
Maybe I don't love the grilled chicken thigh with the rice noodle, which is surprising to me. And when I saw your bowl, like the broth disappeared so quick, and that's kind of what's going on with me here. You need to overdo the broth on it. If I did this again, I would cut the tortillas in like little cubes, not in strips like this. They don't kind of fit easily with everything. When they're too long, it's hard to put in your mouth. I like them, but I don't like them as well.
I think you got away with salting them.
Could have salted them. In my mind, this should be really good, but it's not really good. So I'm trying to understand, why is this not really good? The problem is the sandwich was so good. That was an issue.
Yeah.
It really is an issue.
If I'm giving you a rating, I think that sandwich fucking killer. I'd say that's like a 8 to 9 out of 10. That was a great sandwich. This is like a 5 out of 10. You can eat it, but
he's low on rankings too. For him, a 5 is average.
5 is
normal.
average.
5 is average. For me, I think 7 is good, 8 is very good, 9 is great, 10 is amazing.
So what's average?
7. Most things are good.
How is that?
Most things are good. To me, I think the sandwich is a 9, this is a 7. I am confused here a little bit. I like every component separate.
But together it's just not fitting well.
And I'm still trying to figure out exactly what this needs.
Less corn.
I can't agree with that 100%. I like the corn. It could be a celebration of corn, I don't mind that.
I really feel like the wheat noodle, I feel like the Mi Wang style noodle would go good in here.
That's a rice noodle.
Appropriate.
Mi Wang is rice noodle.
Oh, it's wheat noodle.
No, it's rice noodle.
Me.
I know, it's rice noodle. I will bet you money. It is a thick ass rice noodle with turmeric inside. Or caramelized sugar, or nothing. My mind was blown. The whole time, I'm like, it's called me. Why would it be a wheat noodle? But it's rice.
Don't f with me.
I'm not f***ing with you.
When did you find that out?
Maybe a year and a half ago.
Because it tastes different.
It feels different. It's much thicker. I'm gonna try adding the chili paste in. I didn't even add any of that yet. It's nice to know that you worked for 2 days and made something that's okay, though. That's a good feeling.
I like the idea. I think the idea is there.
I love the idea. Whoever came up with the idea is a genius. It's better without the chili paste. That's for sure.
Better without the chili.
Yeah.
Oh, I added.
Yeah. I don't mind making something that
Doesn't work.
doesn't crush, but I like to learn from it to figure out what am I going to do different next time. I don't know what I would do different next time, and that's not a cool place to be at.
Yeah.
Does it just need salt? Is it as simple as that?
It could be.
It got better. And I don't want to give up on it though, because I like the idea of, everything makes sense. I like the chicken marinade in here. It's the noodle. I think the noodle is the real key issue in this thing.
I'm still leaning towards that Mi Wang now that I've learned that it's a fucking rice noodle. But it tastes different to me. I don't know. I guess you're just seeing texture, but.
Before this camera dies, I'm going to think about this a little bit more. I'm really happy with the sandwich so far, so I'm going to invite Chef Andrew from Soul Kitchen to stop by the studio. I'm going to make him the sandwich. I'm going to make a second version of the soup. If you're curious what Chef Andrew's going to think about these dishes, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. See you guys next time. Bye.